All right, well, it's recording now, so that's good. I didn't forget. I don't think I forgot last time. I think the only time I forgot was like that break.
Yeah, the one time I reminded you.
Yes, which I'm very thankful for, because my memory is god awful. Sometimes, as you have experienced with trying to message me.
That's fine. Just don't tell yourself it's terrible. Just tell yourself you're working on it.
Sure.
That's a good way to put it. Oh man, did I hear a Jamie?
Yep.
Oh heck yeah!
Hey.
Heck yeah! All right. Ooh, chilly here. Take a sip.
Ooh. Any options? Close.
Boom, boom.
Hey, DM question. As I'm just looking at some of the stuff that is in our journal.
Yeah.
So the academy, is this like a part of where we're at right now? Like, is Duncan's like book story thing like attached to this? I assume.
Yeah, on the note there, it says that only 1/3 of the main. Currently, all that's constructed is 1/3 of the main building, which is that bottom one there. So,
I see.
yeah, only 1/3 of that is currently built.
Gotcha. That's a neat picture.
Yeah, I thought so too. And then, I guess I'll get ready to show that one. Ba-ba-ba. Ba-da-da-da. Ba-da-da-da-da. Okay. Alrighty, so just because it seems like the proper way to start, does anybody have any questions before we dive in? And is everybody ready to jump in?
Mm-hmm.
How do you Dungeon Dragons?
I
myself need to know.
listen.
No, I'm fine.
If you're asking those questions now,
You're too far in.
or too far in.
Questions of 3 I ask of thee. What is your favorite color?
Oh, God bless Monty Python and the Holy Grail.
I already started in the wrong order.
That's okay.
The first question is your name?
Oh yeah. And then we get to my favorite.
Then we get
question.
to what's your quest, and then we get to what's your favorite color.
And then what's the oh god, the swallow question. That's the next one.
Is the
airspeed velocity of an something African swallow, European swallow, or does it not specify? And then they argue about it later.
I so don't remember.
I don't think
It's
it
been a
matters at all.
This is going to be very important to our session today.
The most important. All right, let me. Do I have any questions for me?
Meaning of life, maybe?
The yeah, nope, don't have that answer. I don't have that question either. I don't need to ask that question. I'd rather be
sure
oblivious.
Sure you don't need to?
Yeah, no, I'd rather just kind of float through life.
Okay.
Than no. But we don't need to talk about that. That's not fun. Oh, I did want to say, just to make sure that everybody can see it, I went ahead and put those miscellaneous potions in your items tab.
Yeah, which I saw.
So all 3 of those are in there. And then
I'm still so salty over that.
you can bring it up with Mikael because Jamie, you definitely noticed that the coin changed. So if you wanted to be like,
Oh
hey,
no, I just smiled. I didn't want to tell anyone that. I thought that was hilarious.
Okay. Alright, well, you
Alright.
want to cost us. We know if we do end up selling that later, we would have lost about 2,000 gold.
hey, who knows?
No, he was going to give it to us for 5,000. It was
Yeah.
more than it was worth.
It's actually worth 3,000.
Well, who knows, right? Because my magic item prices could be different than what you could find online.
Oh yeah, I guess.
That is also true, yes. It's a fairy and it's more valuable. Okay, whatever, yeah. Also, John, did you see the notes that I added to the bloody journal?
Well,
I added a few things in there because you spent some time reading it, and you gave in a little bit. There is some more stuff that you can understand now. There's only 3 different things, and the final thing is a little chunky, but chunky?
Chunky monkey.
Chunky monkey. Brass chunky.
Am I supposed to be on a map with just my token?
Yeah, I said that I'm using your token for, like, symbolizing where everybody's at, because
That's fine.
Yours is the brightest color. Easiest to see.
No, that's cool. I just wanted to make sure.
Silas is leader. Hashtag confirmed.
There you go. Cyrus is the leader, yep. The
What could
charismatic, sometimes drunk, purple tiefling.
I mean, it's high functioning.
Yeah, it's not like you're, like, intoxicated in a sewer, just not able to do anything.
Not yet.
You're one of those alcoholics who could stop at any time they wanted to, but they just don't want to.
It's like the Archer quote. It's like, I could stop drinking, but I'm afraid the collective hangover would literally kill me.
Oh my god.
I love Archer.
Oh my god, me too. Oh, jeez. Okay. Alrighty. Well, all that stuff out of the way. So John, you should be able to see that. I'm just double checking to make sure that there's not anything else added in here that I added in between the time we played. No. Okay. All righty. So, with that, last we had left off. Oh, wait a second. Sorry. I got it.
long day.
Sorry, I was drinking 7-Up, and it's a little bubbly. So,
Yeah.
last we had left off, all of you, after your own separate events, finally coming together under the banner of, at first, Jalissa, searching for this treasure of Nibiru. Morganix and Al, you sort of had to come along because you were the scholars. You were the ones who could decode any ancient information or be the historical references for this venture. The rest of you were there to make sure that it was happening. Assigned there after Jalissa had taken you in, seemingly out of the kindness of her heart. Eventually, you all came together and, well, you started to do some exploring. You had to go back to Duncan, as he seemed to be the only one who might have some substantial information on the subject of Nibiru and the map that you had found, the one with the writing in Old Common. Now, Duncan had no way to translate Old Common, as it was never something that he studied. However, he did talk about a friend that he had that would be able to translate it for you. He sent you in their direction, and upon arriving in their house, you found a house in ruin and distress, boarded up windows and walls, doors that, well, at one point in time were locked, but seemed to have been busted open. Different pieces of furniture scattered all throughout the house, chaos in a room. Sayla, you were able to find a secret trapdoor hidden in the bedroom, and you made your way down into this dark, decrepit cellar, and you were able to make your way through a puzzle, eventually into, at one point in time, what was an alchemy room, and now had been turned into this grotesque shrine dedicated to this Knoll powerful entity, Yanogu. You also found a journal and some potions in there that were rather useful, but the journal seemed to be covered in blood and sinew and had these tentacles that just, these like bloody tendrils that would wrap around your fingers as you held the book. Morganix, of course, disgusted by this, Al intrigued. Al was the one who decided to carry it and pursue more investigation with it. It seems as though any investigation through this particular journal has led to nothing but distress anger and frustration. The first time you saw that warlock, that decayed man approach you, you put it off to nothing. Eventually, you made your way back to Duncan's after a, what may or may not eventually become something much bigger than what it was originally intended to be. With civilians dead and guards being attacked, tension is in the streets. But eventually, you make your way back to Duncan's. With this information, Duncan this entire time seeming to have some type of memory issue on this subject specifically. The man who lived at that house, he cannot remember his name, or for the most part, even the majority of the relationship they had. But he does remember two things of interest. He remembers, one, the son's name and the wife's name. And he tells you generally where he thinks the son might be and hopes that you are able to find him and find more information about this friend. However, after a tense moment regarding that journal and Al pointing his guns at what he thought was something that was not there, all of you were confronted by Charles Windren, a pompous scholar, to say the least, from a place that Al and Morganix would know is more of a place to learn show magic, not actual study and real information. A place to learn how to be a majestic wizard, not an actual scholar. He translated the Old Common for you and seemingly showed some interest in this lost city, this whatever it may be. However, all of you kind of blew him off, and without the promise of funds, he stormed out, very angry, but with this information that was on the paper. Eventually, all of you decide that, okay, what we're going to do is we're going to head to Mystic Alleyway, but first we need to figure out what these vials do, and Duncan would try to figure out where Beramici Rapiazzo Quindilio's final rest was. In the meantime, you all were free to explore and pursue these other things you wish to find out. So, you go to the blacksmith in the docks and you get your weapons repaired, and you meet a rather interesting merchant by the name of Mikael Pazzo, a dark elf from a foreign land who seemed to have a couple of trickster elements up his sleeve. All of you keep the potions and receive none of the money. Maybe there was a trick involved there. Maybe not. None of you, except Cyrus, know. Eventually, with all of that done, all of this building up to this one moment, technology willing, all of you head now to Mystic Alleyway. And I will go ahead and boop, 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 Mystic Alleyway. Show to everyone. So, you see, as you approach, you can see 15, maybe 20 tents in this one distinct alleyway full of bright colors, different like tapestries hanging down from wires all around the sky above you, flapping in the wind, just slightly, a slow breeze, and you can see different mystical patterns of dark purples and moons and stars, bright yellow suns, different gems and crystals trying to be peddled by these different merchants on the ground, people with tarot cards and crystal balls wanting to be the person to read your future and tell you something that you probably already know. However, all of you are here for one reason, and that is to find someone to help Duncan. So, entering into Mystic Alleyway, what would all of you like to do?
Find the guy.
We had a name of someone in particular we were looking for, right?
Who's one of the NPCs?
Yes, Sayla had told you, or Jalissa had told Sayla about Ko.
Right, Ko. And
I think
Sayla
didn't
told-
Sayla relay it?
I think she did.
Yeah, pretty sure. We're like already heading over to the guy anyway.
Yeah, since you're already in the Mystic Alleyway, I think you did. I don't think you said the name, but I think you said there might be someone in the Mystic Alleyway who could help us.
Because Ko was like described as a native, could Alec be on the lookout for someone who looks similar to her, or the colors that would represent like something that would be familiar to her?
Yeah, so I mean, even just walking through Mystic Alleyway is not very big. It's maybe 250 square feet. It's no bigger than, half of an American football field. The tents are fairly compact, and looking around, most of the people who are sitting in these tents or in these different areas, most of them seem to be from different places all around the world, some from places that you don't recognize, but there is one person in particular that you see, even without a perception check, because they do stick out. Whereas most people have these bright colors and gaudy crystals and gems and bright gold embellished tarot cards, there's one individual who is wearing very simple robes, has a collection of trees and twigs, leaves, mud, and water, sitting in front of him, who has very, very similar red hair to you, but most of his skin is covered by these robes and a pair of gloves, and looking at him from where you are, you can see that he seems to have bandages covering his eyes. But he just sits, he says nothing, and he's maybe 40, 50 feet away from you right now.
Alec will gently, but probably too roughly, then she realizes, nudge whoever's closest to her, and point his direction, and then she'll just start walking that way.
Morganix will follow.
I'm gonna say it was Sayla she nudged, and she's just like, can you not touch? No.
She's already walking away before she heard.
And Sayla just kind of gives up and follows, still scowling.
Al looks at Cyrus and says, should we follow them?
Oh, I suppose
Should
so.
we follow them? Alright then, let's go.
Alright. So as the five of you make your way towards this one odd stand, not as aggressively as the mango salesman from the other part of the docks, but there are some definitely more shady figures who seem to try and coerce you over to their stand as you make your way around through this maze of tents and baubles. There is this one individual in particular, would look to be a tabaxi, a sort of catfolk person with these very large, light, like purple and blue robes and all these different crystals sorted out on their table. As the five of you walk past, the Tabaxi goes, "Oh, please, come see my wares. I can tell that some of you have great destinies ahead, and these crystals will see you through them, yes." So does anybody stop you? You just sort of walk past the Tabaxi.
I stare as I walk by.
Okay. So you kind of stare, and the Tabaxi sort of like lifts up their hands and like kind of like gestures like for you to come towards them, and then eventually when you walk away, they kind of like whisper shout, "Oh, you will be back. They always come back." And you can see them tap on their crystals a little more, and every once in a while there's like a sheam of light from one, and they kind of laugh as they like tap on their crystals. But eventually you move past the Tabaxi.
Before Al does that, he waves and says, "Bye-bye."
Okay, so as you wave, you're eventually a little bit too far ahead or far away, and the Tabaxi is still just sort of tapping on their crystals as you follow the rest of the group. So, eventually, all of you get right in front of this, at least what seems to you, a native Eferian. As you all approach, you get a much better look at him. So that means...
Is he elven like Alec?
Yes.
Okay.
Show players. So there is a note right there. The only difference is he has pointed ears of an elf, and his hair, and hair that is redder, more red. Very similar to Alec. So the two of them look very similar. But as all of you approach, his legs sitting crossed, palms or hands interlaced near his stomach. He just sort of like looks in your general direction and says, "Welcome. Is there anything that I may assist you with today?"
Do I recognize him at all?
Make a wisdom or intelligence check to see if whichever one's higher for you.
Wisdom.
Okay. Kind of. You remember he's definitely younger than you. And while you don't remember somebody who looks exactly like him, there is a familiarity to him, and the name Ko kind of rings a bell. There's something about him that is familiar, you're just not sure what it is.
Okay. Well, as we approach, Alec will immediately put her fist to her chest and kind of incline her head slightly, and she'll say, "Brother, it has been such a long time since I've seen someone of the old blood. I am Alec Silverfoot of Logan Silverfoot, Warden of the Rivers of the Northernman tribe." And like as she's saying it, she'll realize that he can't see.
Yes. And well, as soon as you like
Or
thump
can he?
that thump
Exactly.
to your chest, as soon as he hears that, his goes up the same time. As soon as he hears that thump, he goes up right after and listens, and you can see this smile come to across his face as you say that. And he says, "Sister, it is an honor to hear from you. I am Ko Bronzeclaw of Zamir Bronzeclaw, Watcher of the Western Rivers and Seer of Congiado." And with that, there was a mystic of your clans who, Zamir Bronzeclaw, he would be the one who would peer into the waters of Congiado to predict the weather, or if the crops would grow in abundance, or in some other cases to see if attackers were near. However, you do recall there being some tension between Zamir and your father, and Zamir left. And that was several months before the incident. It is so good to hear you, sister. I had heard the worst, and
Yes, things are not good right now. And she kind of like looks slightly over her shoulder, knowing that the rest of the party's behind her. We were attacked shortly before I left. I do not know the fate of my people as of now, but I know my father is strong. I know that our people are strong as well, and I hope to return one day very soon. But that is not why we are here. We're here to actually help a friend of ours. His mind seems to be clouded. Every time we try to ask him a question about a specific person, he cannot recall their name or any memories, recent events with this person. We really need their name, but he can't seem to recall. Do you know why this could be?
He sits and reflects for a while. You can see him reach for what seemed to be like a bowl of dried leaves and crunch them a little bit and pull out a cluster and grab some of the like muddy water and mushes them together, creating this like soft crunching noise. And he takes it and sets it down next to him and thinks a little more and says, "Well, I am not sure if it is exactly what the trees whisper, but there were times where my father would assist people who would have similar afflictions. I would be happy to try and help in whatever way I can. I'm not sure if I can, but for you, Alec, I would be willing to try."
Thank you. I'm glad your relationship with my father will not halt our relationship. I appreciate it.
It is of no problem.
Do
Not
you
at
need
all.
to see him? Do we need to bring you to him?
Yes. If
She
you-
hates the fact that she used the word see.
Yes, I would need to be able to be in the same room as him, but if there is any way that you all could guide me there, the coats, they do not take kindly to me if I am alone.
Of course.
What did he say? The what?
He said the coats.
Okay, Morganix is gonna kind of like tilt her head to the side and look at the others and just kind of mouth the coats back. She's not gonna say it out loud, but it's a definite inquiry.
And he kind of reaches his hand out for somebody to lift him up.
Alec will immediately take his hand to help him up.
He pulls up. And there's a moment, as you're lifting him up, you can swear that the two of you make eye contact, where he's just staring right at you, and he says, "I am sorry, Alec. You of all people deserve better."
Do I know what he's talking about?
There's when you go to touch him and lift him up, there's this connection for a moment, and you're not sure exactly what he's referring to, but the sounds in his voice, they echo very closely the feelings you felt when you were running several months ago.
Gotcha. I don't think she knows what to say, so she's just going to kind of squeeze his arm a bit and then just steady him so she can guide him. But she's not going to say anything in response.
Alrighty.
And then she's going to turn to everyone else. She's going to say, I know this was our first staff, but if this is who Jalissa thinks is best, and I think is best, Ko has been most helpful to my people for quite some time, so if you prefer we stick around and perhaps seek some other aid, we can, but I really think Ko is our best option here.
Jalissa
I trust
recommended
that.
him.
Hold on, what exactly we're trying to do here again?
I believe you were trying to find somebody who could try and undo the blockage in Duncan's mind.
Sorry.
No, it's okay.
Okay. That's it. Then.
All right.
Yeah,
So
Sayla's just kind of like, yeah, Jalissa recommended him, so I'd trust her judgment on this.
Okay, sorry. I was talking to your dad, Joe. I'll shoot you a message.
Okay.
Okay, well, that being said, then Alec is going to lead the way back to Duncan, trying to avoid any other people pedaling.
Al just looks up from his notebook and just looks back down, looks back up. What? Yes. Right. Yes. And he puts his notebook away and follows along.
Okay.
It's like mall kiosks. Don't make eye contact with anybody.
Alrighty, so all of you, you've
As
found
they're... Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh no, go ahead. I was just gonna say you make your way back, but if there's something you want to do, go for it.
Yeah, on the way back, Morganix is going to try to tag behind with Sayla just a little bit and ask her, what are the coats?
Does Sayla know what those are?
No, not really. With the time that you've been here, you've never heard someone use that expression.
I'm not entirely sure. I've not heard that yet. I can probably find out. Next time we're with Jalissa, I can ask her.
Oh, I suppose I could just ask him, but I didn't want to be rude. I thought, you seem well established here. I thought maybe you would know.
I've not been here very long, honestly.
Oh, you fake it well.
No, I just adapt quicker than others.
That must be nice.
When you're on the streets, it's that or you die, so... It's kind of why we need to keep an eye on Al. He's gonna get our throats slit.
Morganix is just blinking at this information. Like, she has no response to that, so she just kind of looks between Al and Sayla and nods. And goes quiet. That's all I wanted to do, sorry.
Okay. Oh, no, you're fine.
That was great.
Coats? What is it? I can't. I think I heard you right. Say coats like COATS.
Yes.
No,
Coats
okay.
like coats. Like a winter coat.
It's
We
hilarious.
do like coats, so we put coats in your coats.
No idea. Oh, I don't know what that is.
Okay.
Is it?
So, you all eventually make your way past, through the docks, in between that and the old city up, and as you are heading north towards the Eferian Academy, you can see on the hill to your left, you can see the governor's mansion as you're passing it by, this very lavishly decorated and well-maintained building on a hill for where the main person in charge resides. But all of you make your way through the streets, past the Salt City, and eventually into the inner city, where the Eferian Academy is. You recognize... You finally get back there, and you open the door to enter, and there's no Duncan to be found. On the table to the left of the door, you can see scattered papers and books open to different pages. It seems that there's no sign of a scuffle or anything like that. And soon as all of you get in and the door shuts behind you, you hear somebody walking around from that main room that Morganix and Al, you had stayed in just several nights ago. And walking through the doorway is Jalissa. She looks to all of you and smiles. So, I take it that, you all have not forgotten about the job that you are doing for me, yes?
We were just on our way over to you. That translation that we were supposed to do to you, yes.
And,
Exactly what we were going to do.
well, the translation is done. And she walks over to the table. and taps on it. It is right here. So, what is it exactly you are doing? Was it something that would help me? And
I
help.
believe so. We think something might be wrong with Duncan. And we need him.
Have you seen him?
Yes, I have seen Duncan, and what is wrong with him right now does not concern, well, any of you. You got the information you needed in order to pursue Nibiru further.
Duncan
in-
was locating where this final rest is. If you read the translation, we need the final rest to be able to continue. Therefore, we need Duncan. So where is he?
Duncan is fine. I was able to talk to him, and it seems as though the final rest is one of 3 places. There is, and she picks up some papers and a couple of books and flips through them. So it seems as though there are the 3 different places that he might have been buried is either in Thorol, where he was from. He could be buried at sea with his ship, or the one that I bet it probably is buried in Efera. Now, there is a tower in a cove that is much like this one on this drawing. Now, this is something that Duncan was able to figure out himself. So then, that makes me ask. You all are doing something to help him that is not directly related to what I need you to do. So, let me ask. Are you going to do what I want you to do? Or are you going to do what you want? Because if you're going to do what you want, I will find someone else to do this job.
Hold on. Are you actually going to pay us? So far, I've got nothing.
As I have
Duncan,
said
anyone?
before, any of what you find in this lost city, a sizable amount will go to the 5 of you, but that requires you to find the city, not do a charity case for a man who has lost his mind. He is old. It happens. Now, what I suggest you do is you focus on what is going to make me money, and in turn, what is going to make you money. Do I make myself crystal clear?
This job is going to be paid in commission only.
So, Al, if I am understanding correctly, what you are doing is you are trying to haggle with me.
No, I'm
You
just trying to understand.
So then if I tell you that the only money you'll be making is based off of what you're able to find, there will be no problems with that?
I'm just sure.
Sure, so
good.
where is this cave?
It is not a cave, it is a tower located a day or two's journey from here.
Right. Of course.
I understand your meaning, but I also work for Duncan, and I would just like to see him before we leave. There's no reason we won't do what you want. I think all of our goals are aligned at present. Did not think I would say that when this day began, but now I feel it is. But I would feel much better just seeing Duncan briefly.
We've also brought this man a very long way to help him.
And I would like to roll an insight check on her to see if I get the feeling that Duncan is in some kind of danger.
Go ahead and make an insight check. My dear, the one mistake you have made is thinking that you work for Duncan. Ever since you stepped foot in that tavern, you started working for me. Duncan is a contact. He is an informant. Nothing more, nothing less. I can promise you Duncan is fine. He is well fed. He has all the books he could ever want to read. But I can tell that you care for the old man, and I will do this thing for you.
It's not like he's a pet. It's an observation.
I do care for him, so
I will.
I think I understand your meaning.
And
May,
he is...
would
just
you be
want-
willing? I'm so sorry.
No, it's okay.
I'm
Go
getting
ahead,
used
go
to roll 20, I swear to God.
It's okay. Go ahead.
Would you be willing to take this man to him while we do what you want us to?
Mm-hmm. I would be more than willing to let this man sit and talk with Duncan for the time being.
Ko, are you comfortable with that?
Um.
I can pay you. I'm just very worried about him.
No payment is necessary. I do this for, Alec. This is fine, provided that as long as somebody takes me from where I need to go, then that is fine.
Thank you, Ko.
Yes,
Yes, thank you very much.
it is no problem.
Jalissa, please see that this man is unharmed. He is a friend.
Of course, I would not dream of causing harm to anyone who is trying to keep pets alive. She reaches an arm out to Ko, as he's sort of outstretching his, and she grabs it and pulls him over towards her. Ah, very good. So, it seems as though you now have a heading. You know where you need to go. It is on this map, right here, that I have so graciously left in your hands. So please, spend what time you need to figure out how you're going to get there, and make sure that you send someone to tell me as soon as you find out. Do I make myself clear?
Crystal.
I'm sorry, Joe. Did she want us to, tell her how to get there, or she wants us to just go?
She just wants you to go.
Okay.
She wants you to, as soon as you find out how you're getting there, to send word to her.
Okay.
Is it crazy far?
No, so as you go to look over on the map, let me switch you back here to the main map. So, New Verdalka is boop, 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 right here. This tower is right, it's going to be the little blue circle. It's right there.
Ooh.
So it's not super far, but that is quite a bit of ways to travel by land or sea.
Multiple days worth?
Yes. It's about 2.5 days via foot, and if the winds allow it, it would be about 1 day.
Is this outside of the city?
Yes.
Okay.
So, I will take Ko to Duncan, and I look forward to hearing what you find. So, I don't think that any more dallying is necessary. As I said, Duncan's ailment is not necessary to finding what I need. He has proved his use to all of us. We have the information we need, and the lost city should be at Beremichi's final rest. So, I will stay here with Ko until after I hear that you have left the town, and then I will take him to Duncan. I can't have any of you trying to track me down.
Please see that Ko gets home safely. And there may be one other thing you would want to know. A man stopped by earlier who seemed very interested in all of this, and I did not like the vibe we got from him.
Yes, I am aware of this Charles character. He came to me with the information he has procured, and he has been taken care of. So, I see no more reason why you need to sit here and stare. I think that you have work to do. Go.
Okay, well, before we go, Alec is gonna. I was just gonna say bye to Ko. Alec is just gonna put her fist to her chest. She's gonna look in Ko's direction, and she'll just say, "Peace, brother. The old gods watch over you." Then she's gonna shoot Jalissa a very cold look, and then she's just gonna turn and walk out.
As you go, you can hear his fist hit his chest and say, "Sister, the old gods watch over you." As you exit, do all of the rest of you follow suit?
Sayla
Yeah.
does. She's just stayed quiet and listened and just kind of been frowning because she said this earlier. and got outvoted.
Alrighty. So, all of the rest of you exit out of the
Not
Efera.
Al. No, not Al. Al is just standing there, staring blankly, not moving, thinking about things. He has not moved at all.
Morgonix is gonna put an arm around his shoulder kind of lightly and...
Okay,
Come on.
right, let's go. And then he falls along.
Okay.
There we go.
All right. So, you all. Okay, sorry. So all of you exit out of the Eferian Academy. At least as of right now, no idea where Duncan is. Only the word of a dangerous woman that he is fine. So all of you exit. You now have your place you need to head to, and now you just need to find a way to get there. So, what are you doing?
Once we're just like a little bit out of earshot, like, you know, maybe a little bit down the street, Morgonix is going to look to Sayla and... Is she going to hurt him?
I don't take her as someone who would just hurt someone to hurt them. However, Duncan is a pain in the ass, so...
I will have to kill her if she kills Ko.
I think
It's like she
Ko-
says this as like blank face as possible.
And Sayla reassures her, she's like, I think Ko is fine. Duncan might be a different story. Depends on what he said.
Duncan is why I'm here. I don't take this lightly.
Do you have much choice at this point? Do any of us?
No, I suppose not.
Then
So
we
how
take
do
her
we
at her
get
word.
there?
Joe, if I know the area-ish, could I, like, lead us that way? Would it still take us the same amount of time if we went by foot?
I mean, yeah, pretty much, because the area that you are from...
It's, like, farther north.
Yeah, you're closer to from up here.
Okay, so I'm not super familiar with down here then.
No, yeah, it's more of a coastal area as opposed to, like, the dense jungle that you're used to.
Okay.
But you would you would be better equipped to even navigate through the light jungle that is on the outside of the city.
The tower is on the coast.
Yes.
Right. We just follow the coast.
Do we
Navigation
go
is that way.
by boat or by foot?
Would probably be faster. Speaking of boats, okay, hold on. Just go by boat. I have someone in mind we could ask for a ride.
Are you talking about Vera? If you responded, I didn't hear it.
Yes. I think it would be a bit faster.
If you know someone with a boat, then why not?
How long did Vera say she was going to be sticking around? I feel like she told us.
Weeks. Said 2 weeks.
Yep.
Cool.
Photographic memory. Not that.
So yeah, she would still be here if you wanted to try and find the lucky lady.
Okay.
Yeah,
Why not?
I think that's a good idea.
Are we in agreement?
Yeah, she was heading, well, into the part of town she told us to avoid, but
Yeah.
after
fine.
what's happened, that seems a little less intimidating.
Much. All in favor, say aye. 1, 3. 1, 2, 3, aye.
I don't care.
Lead the way.
I'm just going to make sure you guys make it there.
Alright. I guess we head on our way. Fine. And Vera.
Okay, so all of you. So I'm taking it that you're heading towards the dock then. Try and find the
Yeah.
ship. Okay.
As well.
Alrighty, so you make your way back down south towards the dock once again. Past
Getting our
the,
steps in.
yeah, past the very aggressive mango salesman. Man, hey, you again! You keep coming! You keep
I
coming
shoot
by
that
here!
guy
You
a
want
dirty look again.
that? I get out of here! Get out of here!
All waves.
He just keeps yelling, "Get out of here!" If you're not going to buy anything. Okay. So, make your way back down to the docks, and you can hear the sound of the waves crashing against the shore and the different holes of the different boats all throughout the dock, and seagulls squawking as they fly overhead, looking for her ship.
Yep.
Nice. All righty. What's going on here? There we go. Okay. Oh, shoot. Alrighty. So, real quick, who is? I'm assuming Organics and Al, you guys are the ones leading the charge for this this boat.
Sure.
Why not?
Alrighty. So then, one of the two of you go ahead and make a check, or an investigation check with advantage, just seeing how fast you can find the ship.
Do you want to do it or do you want me to?
Well, perception check?
Investigation.
Wait, yeah, I didn't hear that right. Alright, so I'm going to assist you.
Okay.
You make the check with advantage.
I clicked it, but nothing's happening.
Oh.
Come on, internet, don't fail me now.
Internet.
We got it. Yeah, or maybe. Nice. Hey, there we
Oh
go.
god, sorry.
No, that's okay.
Oh,
It was with advantage
hey,
anyway.
ain't bad.
Okay. No, that's pretty good. So as you are looking around, trying your best to... Oh, 2 more.
It
All
just
right.
a whole bunch of them are going through from
Oh,
my
gee.
internet is great.
Oh, that's okay.
Ooh, hello.
Alrighty. So luckily, the second roll was the 18, and that was the highest out of I don't know, what is that? Quadruple advantage, something crazy like that. Okay. So
Hey.
I'll only count the first two.
yeah, yeah. You make your way into the docks, and you figure out where you originally came into port at. And sadly, you don't see the ship there. You don't see Captain Vera anywhere. But you are able to sort of ask around to different dock workers where the lucky lady is, and eventually you find the person in charge of all of the ships coming in and going out, and he tells you where you can find her ship in a matter of 5 or 10 minutes. And walking to the eastern portion of the dock, you see a very familiar ship, and standing on the deck, you can see Captain Vera Tinkertop in not necessarily her full captain's guard. It seems as though that long navy coat she's taken off, and she just has this doublet on, and is sort of shouting out different commands to people, trying to get them to organize things, load different things on, take different things off, still seeming like she's in the unloading and selling process of a lot of the goods that she had here. So she's saying, no, that needs to go up, and then this needs to go over. What are you doing? Why are you doing that right now? No, that is not. And she looks towards the dock, and she sees the two of you. And
I'm gonna
she
wave.
goes, oh, hello. All right. How about all of you stop, take lunch break, go to the tavern, find some drink. Maybe if you're drunk, you'll do better work. Maybe, I don't know, because sober you do not do very good work. Go. And the other deckhands and workers, they sort of give her a dirty look as they walk off the ship onto the dock, and the five of you start to make your way over towards her ship, and she leans over the side of the ship and says, well, it seems as though that Al and Morganix have made several new friends. It is nice to meet all of you, and you all see. We're gonna put her where she belongs now. That ain't right.
Hey.
Put her
Yeah.
in the NPCs category. And edit, and in all players, save changes, show to players. There we go. All right. So you can see her sort of leaning over the side of the ship, and she says, welcome to the lucky lady. Please come aboard. And so all of you make your way on the ship in this really weird energy, as she's very bombastic and lighthearted, and all of you kind of have a very dull energy about you going on right now as you make your way onto the ship. She gestures you to follow her back to the captain's quarters, and she opens the door for all of you, and she says, please, take a seat wherever you like. I will get some, anything you like. I have meat, cheese, and a little bit of wine. Not too much, though, as most of the sailors over the... Yes, I see a man of good taste, then. Yes, here. And she pours you a glass first and hands it to you. And
Obliged.
yes, of course, more than happy to help. And she sets the pitcher down next to you. You can tell that she's dealt with a lot of people like you in her life as a seaworthy captain. So, it is very nice to see you, Al Morganix. You other three, what are your names? It is a pleasure to meet you. And she gives this sort of very over-the-top, flamboyant bow down with her arm extended out, and one of her legs all the way back on the tiptoe, very low to the ground. I am Captain Vera Tinkertop. Your names?
I'm sorry, it just makes me laugh anytime someone asks Alex her name, because I'm just gonna go through the whole damn thing every single time.
Do it.
Alex
Can't do this
Silverfoot,
shit.
Logan Silverfoot, Warden of the Rivers of the Northern Men Tribes, and she will slightly bow her head.
Oh, yes, you are a true Eferian. It is very nice to meet you. You are very big and very strong. That is very useful, I am sure. And you other two?
Sayla.
A woman of few
Cyrus.
words.
Charmed,
And
I'm
Cyrus.
sure.
Well, Cyrus, believe it or not, I am at least a little charmed. So, what brings all of you back? I assume that you would find your... Bless you. I assume that once... I assumed once all of you found your way through the city, I would not see you again. Frankly, I am not disappointed, but I am intrigued, to say the least.
Vera, we have somewhere we need to go, and we're looking to perhaps book passage. If not with you, perhaps you could recommend somebody.
I see. It is not that you wanted to spend more time with me, or that you missed me. It is that you needed
Well, you
me.
would be our first choice, of course. Doesn't that count for something?
I suppose you're right. It does count for a little something. Not a lot of something, but at least a little bit of something. So, tell me exactly where is it you need to go? I might be able to squeeze you in, per se.
Who has the map?
No idea.
Please tell us somebody took the map.
Did someone put that?
Just left it with Jalissa.
Oops.
Here, Alec will hand her the map.
Okay, so she pulls it out.
I'll say she took it.
Okay. Well, that is not very far. Tell me, what exactly are you hunting that requires you to... Oh, wait a minute. Oh. So, I'm curious, what exactly draws you to this location in particular?
Extortion.
That is, why does anyone do anything? Most of the time it is for extortion. You are very correct there.
Being
The
extorted.
only...
What?
The only problem I have, and I can do this for you. In my life, I have spent some time in some more shady circles, but I want all of you to be aware that if this is in the same position I believe it is in, this is a pirate cove. Sunken City Bay.
Anime eyes.
Now, do not worry. I can get us in, safe and sound. But, what exactly draws you to this place? Most of the time, the only thing you can find in this pirate cove is, well, drunkards and people who are willing to shoot you for looking at them not exactly the most right way.
I can shoot back.
That is the spirit to have in a pirate cove, Al. I just, if you would
We're
like me
just
to...
looking for something to help a friend.
That is the quickest answer we can give you. A more truthful one is that we are in a spot and we have to recover an item for somebody. We've lost a book, and it may be possible that the less you know, the better.
Even if you can't take us yourself with your ship, might you be able to recommend us another ship, possibly? If you can't do.
Well, I can do this for you. I can do this, no problem. Actually, as soon as all of the supplies are loaded off my ship by the end of the day, this night we could leave, which means that we would probably get there tomorrow night, if the winds allow it, of course. The only issue is, well, Morganix, the other three of them could pass for pirates, but you two, we would need to spend some time on teaching you how to get along in this particular place. Al had the right idea by willing to shoot back.
Class learner.
I mean, we could say we're selling them for ransom.
You know?
What?
You know, it is no Slaver's Bay, that is for sure, but there are people there who would be interested in that, and believe me, the sight of, well, someone like Morganix and, well, someone with a name like Al's, they could fetch a nice price. Of course, I would never sell the two of you. I promise you that. You are good friends too. Good friends now. But what I will say is that that could work. That is a good idea. If the three of you are willing to put on that charade, you should be able to get through most places in the city that you need to.
They'll have to be roughed up a little.
Oh, but don't worry. I have
Sorry,
tons
what?
of chains and manacles and rope, and as much as you need, really. In order to
That
make it
might
look...
not sell it. Unless
Good at
they're
begging.
just so weak. Unless they're just so weak that they're not even gonna fight back. But I don't take Al as someone who wouldn't at least try to keep from being taken.
Yes. And also begs the question, you would have to remove their weapons and armor from them.
Hmm.
I carry no weapon.
That is good. But
And
Al is a little
carry
bit more
many
heavily
weapons.
armored.
Sorry, a lot of people were talking at once there.
On the other hand, carry many weapons.
Exactly. So, how about this? We have at least a day, if not more than that, to figure out something more. If this is the way that you want to go, I can recall my crew and we can start heading in that way. Believe me, it has been, a month or two since, well, no, more than that. It has been a while since my crew and I have been to a pirate cove, so I'm sure they would be happy to get back. So, if this is what you want to do, I will call them back and we can head that way, but if not...
Morgonix is going to look at the others, just kind of resigned to this. How do you guys want to play this?
If it's going to get us there, it might be for the best. Let's just pretend.
Why that?
I mean-
Yes.
I might have to give you guys black eyes and shit.
I mean, I'm already down 2 hit points.
It's probably time for a long rest between.
Sayla, do you have to get a message to Jalissa that we've secured passage?
It shouldn't be hard
Wait
to
a
send
minute.
something.
You all are working for Jalissa.
Ah, crap.
with, not for, with.
Oh, you're working with her.
Our hands are essentially tied when it comes to this business.
Ah,
He
I
looks,
see.
Al looks at his hands. What? Hands aren't tied. Oh, you mean I get right.
Well, believe me, this is something we can discuss more of. As Jalissa and myself, we have a history together of a sorts. So, what I will say is, I can have one of my men go. Give her word that you are booking passage with me, and if anything, that should put her mind at ease a little bit. Her and I go a ways back. So,
Insight check to see if this
Yeah.
is a good thing or a bad thing.
go ahead and make an insight check. I mean, she is a swashbuckler. So there's always this like panache and just braggadociousness to her at all times, and this general cheery air. So it seems like the way that she's talking right now that this is a good thing.
Yeah, okay.
All right, well. If there is nothing else you need to get, I will call my men back, send out a messenger, and we will head out tonight.
Very well.
Thank you.
Yes,
course.
thank you. I have a bit of gold. I could give you some money.
Oh, my dear, if you are working for Jalissa, do not worry about it. I'm sure that whatever she is putting you up to, there is quite a bit of gold in it already. I'm sure I can grease some palms and get some from her, someone who has it, and not someone like you, someone who... And I mean this in the kindest way possible. That does not.
Thank you.
Of course. Of course. So, if that is the case, I will send a message and we will be on our way as soon as we can. Make yourselves at home, Morganix and Al. The cabins have not been touched much since you left, but we will leave as soon as we can. So, as all of you sort of mosey around on the ship, getting ready to go, sadly, we have to take a break right here. Because of some things that Kayla and I need to do real quick. And I do not know how long this break will be because of what we have to go do.
Sounds like we're gonna go murder somebody.
I know. No, we
have to go take his dad somewhere.
Yeah, he needs to go pick up his car, so we need somebody to like drive him there and drop him off there.
Okay.
We'll be fast.
So, yeah, we'll try and be as fast as we can. I would say aim for 30 minutes, like the normal one, which it also kind of sucks because then we're just going to have to take another one at around 6. Oh, gosh. I don't know. We'll figure it out when we get back. Okay. I know that sucks, but it's just, we got it. I'm sorry.
Good luck, guys.
I don't want to either.
That's fine.
All right. Okay. All right. See you guys in a bit.
That's nice.
It might be worth looking into.
Yeah.
So, let's see here. There are a lot of us. 5 of us.
I don't even know how much health
Sayla will
potions
buy
cost.
her own, so it's all good. So 4.
So 4 of us. So if I was to buy 4 health potions, what would that run me up to?
Just depends. What type did you want to get? Common?
Common.
Uncommon? Common? Okay.
Just for now.
For 4,
I
that
still have that other common potion of healing that I haven't used. Going
So
on.
3.
So 3.
Make that 3.
And I can pitch in on that.
Okay. Using the all-natural and exquisite ingredients that are only located on Efera, from the closest potion salesperson in the dock, you'd be looking at 225 gold for 3 health potions.
Wow, okay.
That's 75 gold apiece.
I can't afford 1. All right. Well,
I can't even afford one.
let's just be
Never
really
mind.
careful.
No, let me throw my 20 gold in and let's at least get 1.
It's 15 over the base price.
All right. And Alec will put forth her 65 gold pieces to at least get us 1.
All right, so that means Al, you have 0, and Morganix, you have 5 left. Because you said you had 65?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, I thought I was putting all mine in.
Okay, well, if you put all of yours, then you'll have 0, and Al, you will have...
Alec?
Alec, sorry. Oh my gosh.
I was like, wait, what?
I'm so confused. Okay.
No, I already have 0.
Then I'll have 10. Is that what's happening?
Yeah, you have 65?
Yes.
Yeah, you'll have 10 left. 10 gold left. Using those wonderful and exquisite herbs and cheese spices that are only found in Efera.
Okay, now I'm for real Z-broke. But I have all those alchemical ingredients I can sell at some point. I just don't think we'll have time before.
Yeah, to get to where Booma is and back to the ship by the time that all the crew is back, that might be a little difficult.
So I'm not going to worry about it, but we seriously have to loot everything.
Yeah.
Alrighty. So. Let me do this here. Okay. There we go. That's what I want. And then I need one more thing. There we go. Alright.
I had a sling for some reason. How much could I get for selling a sling?
That's a great question. And I will give you an answer in about 10 seconds.
This is a very special sling.
It was
Yes.
wielded by a great adventurer.
It's made of gold.
That your golden sling could give
Slings are
you
cool.
simple ranged. That's funny. There's no.
Oh god.
We'll see.
It's literally worthless.
A good old sling, right? This is like
Yeah.
some leather, some leather.
Never
We'll
used.
see. We'll see. Never used. Oh, with that, I was gonna say 3, but we'll say 5 gold. Never used.
Oh,
Okay.
Pristine
I have
out of the
5
box.
whole gold. I have 5 whole gold. I feel more comfortable not being at 0. Let's go.
Yeah.
50 times the normal amount. Nice.
It still has that nice new leather smell and everything.
Exactly. Yeah. When you got your class care package from the D&D
Yeah.
gods.
Edition.
And I was like, no, thank you. Return to sender. Just give me the gift card.
Oh God. Oh, it's so funny. Okay.
Cool. I mean, I'm still broke, but I feel more comfortable about it.
Yeah. You know. All right. Let's see here. Nice.
Nice.
Indeed, indeed.
So yeah, guys, if I die, I'm coming back as a cleric. Don't worry.
Cleric or druid, either or, are both very
oh
good.
god, druids
Bard.
are my favorite.
Druids
Druids
are
and bards.
very good.
My real life
Druids
campaign
are
ended
very
just
useful.
recently, and I miss my druid so much.
Oh God,
She was Circle of the Dreams. She had heals for days.
Oh my God, yeah, that is like the healer, because you get like the because is that the one where you
It
get
is
the totem?
the healing druid.
Yeah.
No,
No.
you get a whole bunch of healing and support abilities, and
Yeah.
it got to the point at end game where I was healing better than the cleric, and our cleric was our tank.
Oh, it's funny how roles get reversed sometimes.
whatever.
Yeah,
works, man.
clerics can be tanks.
He was a forge cleric, so yeah, he was tanky.
Oh,
I was
yeah.
like, fuck.
Yeah, get that +1 armor bonus.
Druids
Okay.
can be tanks as well.
Yeah, they can. I remember my last campaign.
Oh, the moon with those.
The yeah.
old
Yeah,
shit.
she was a Circle of the Moon druid, and she just
Huh.
like the final. I remember the final fight. What she would do is she would like shape change. Well, she would use all of her wild shapes, and then as soon as she got done with that, she would use her shape change, and then when she got done with that, the fight was pretty much over.
Yeah.
So while everybody else, literally the one NPC that they had with them and the 3 other people were like had gone and went down like 3 or 4 times the entire fight, she I think did not go below a half hit points.
Wow. No, it's even
Getting
better.
to like the end of campaign 1 of Critical Role, it was just impossible to take Keyleth down.
Oh yeah, like their level 20 battle royale thing.
You know
yeah,
what can even be better than just a straight up level 20 Circle of the Moon druid? Level 17 druid, level 3 barbarian. Get that reckless attack.
Oh,
And,
be an
rage.
angry animal.
Fucking huge. That's like completely impossible. That you take down like 3 Tourette's. I'm not so sure about that, but
Yeah. Okay.
we got sidetracked.
Yes.
Yeah.
Big sidetrack. That was a big
big sidetrack.
Are you recording?
Sorry.
I am. Yes.
I'm making sure.
That's okay. Okay, so you've sold the things you wanted to. You bought 1 health potion, which might come in handy. Who has the health potion on them?
I can
I
hold
think-
on to it.
Alec is most likely to need it.
Okay. Let me go to my thing here. What I'll do then is I will just because
The owls both have potions.
Yeah. All right. So common potion. So we'll take this out of your inventory. We'll put that in Kayla's, and there we go. All right. Kayla, you should have Alec, you should have a common healing potion in your inventory now.
Thank you.
Yeah, roll 20. Yes, no problem. Okay.
Don't worry, if I die, my cleric will also have a name that starts with AL.
Good. As she should.
Well, then if everybody's character dies, except for the ones that start with A, you guys could become the A team, provided that you're able
Yes.
to come back. All right.
I would miss Sayla so much. I'm attached.
It's all downhill once you name them.
Okay. So, with that, all right. I'm going to ask one last question. John, do you know one about you'll need to leave?
I don't know, like in 15.
15 minutes.
I don't know. Between 15 minutes and half an hour.
Okay.
It depends.
Okay. And then,
I hectic over here.
okay. And then just to make...
And we're all part of town, so.
Okay. And then real quick, Jamie, are you back to...
Yep.
Okay, cool. All right.
You drunk?
He's just method acting. It's fine.
Yeah,
Totally how that goes.
that's all that is.
The whiskey's been put away. It's just wine now.
Okay, so nothing too hard. We're
How
just-
do you mix? That is so dangerous. Oh my god.
Oh no, I've always mixed like drinks. It's never ever done me badly ever.
It's called being British.
That's
It
good.
Yeah,
must be
we-
because
we-
of
Say
we-
shit.
that
We
destroys
drink
my.
like it's going out of fashion here.
All right. Okay, sorry. Um,
So when you record, like even though we're talking in Discord, it picks up everything?
Yep, yeah, I have it just set up whatever is going to like what I'm listening on.
Oh,
So
okay.
Yeah, it records what I hear just through my computer in general, and then it records. I have it set to record specifically my microphone and not like my computer mic.
Cool.
Yeah. So yes, it does. Wouldn't that be terrible? All this time. Didn't get anybody's. That'd be pretty funny. Okay. I'm just trying to make sure. Okay. All right. And then. Okay, so all of you now on the ship, you have the items that you believe you need for right now. Going forward, you now board the ship. The rest of the crew boards the ship, and you begin to raise anchor, port to starboard, drop the sails, and begin to sail towards your destination. What you have been informed as is the Sunken City Bay. As Captain Vera had informed all of you, it is a pirate town.
Arr.
Yes, it's a pirate cove. A place
You
where
think Jalissa would have mentioned that?
maybe it was under her radar. Didn't know about it.
The whoopsie.
City. So, boarding the ship, it now leaving New Verdalca, departing. For those of you who just arrived in town not but a few days ago, getting back on another ship is not necessarily the most appealing thing, but it seems to be the only option you have right now if you do want to accomplish your goal of whether that be amassing wealth or, at this current point in time, helping Duncan. Regardless, you make your way onto the ship, and it begins to sail, and for some of you, you might enjoy being on the seas, being on the ocean, hearing the crashing of the waves on the hull of the ship. And as you set some of your items down in your cabin, how many of you would like to leave items in your small cabin, or would you like to carry your items on your person?
Leave my bag with most of my things in it. But I'm gonna keep my revolver in the thing. What's that?
Okay, all right. Save everybody else.
We'll keep
And-
the 10 golds
When
on the ship.
My like a handful of ammunition
Okay.
in my
I'm
pocket.
probably keeping my bag on me.
Okay.
Sayla does not trust other people.
And I'm gonna keep my armor on most of the time, and my pouch with money in it
All right.
in things on around my neck.
Okay. Yes. That way it's always in eyesight. Always good to go. Cyrus, are you just keeping
Under
everything
my
on you?
armor.
Yeah, I'm keeping everything on me.
Okay. Alrighty. Cool. So you all begin to sail, choosing whether or not to keep your items on you. Some trying to be a little bit more concealing. Some of you having been on this ship before, there's a little bit more trust, but sailors are still sailors. There's not exactly a code of law that binds them together. So, for some of you, keeping on the safe side, you leave everything in there or on your person. So, you begin to sail. Now, you have about a day and a half. As you can see, the winds are getting picked up fairly well in the sails, and the wind seems to be on your side, so it will be a fairly short journey. In that day and a half, is there anything that any of you wanted to do? Specifically, of course.
No.
Sayla,
No, you guys can
watch.
probably have a long rest.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes, that happens. You can
cool.
fresh those hit points, get back
You
those
know.
spell slots. Yeah,
Back those hit dice.
exactly. Yep. Nobody wants to do anything.
Sayla's just gonna watch and make sure nobody tries to pickpocket anybody.
I'm
Okay.
going to ask Captain Vera
Okay.
something.
Okay, yeah.
Captain
So-
Vera, what were you saying?
Oh, I was just gonna say, yeah. As closer towards the night of that first day, you make your way to her cabin, and she's just in there studying some maps and such. As she sees you enter, she says, "Oh, hello there, Al. It is very good to see you."
Captain Vera, would you happen to have any mangoes?
Well, yes, I do. Sure.
May
Would
I
you?
have one?
Yes, of course. And on her like little table she's at, she's got like a little fruit basket, and she takes out like a fairly well ripened mango and just sort of tosses it to you, and easy enough, you catch it.
Thank you.
Was that it? Oh,
I don't know what else.
actually, Al, there was something that they wanted to talk to you and Morganix about. Is there any way that you could go get her real quick?
Yes.
It won't take very long.
Right. Fun.
Thank you.
I'm not very far away. I was just about to go see her myself.
So yeah, as she's coming up on deck from below deck, as you're leaving, you see her, and
I'm going to not see her and bump into her by accident. Physically bump into her. And then fall
That
over.
checks out. I help pick him back up.
Sorry about that.
That's all right. Just be careful.
It's the person I was looking for. Samira wants to see you. Well, you and me. Let's go.
Okay. Head in
Right,
with
then
him.
we go.
okay. So the two of you enter, and as you enter, she gestures for you to come closer, and she gestures for you to have a seat at the table she has, and she gets up and she actually shuts the door behind the two of you, and comes back down and sits, and she begins to talk, and she says, so I would like to, I'm sure that the two of you have, in your, interactions with her, have noticed that, Jalissa is, she is strong-willed, to say
I'll
the
blink.
least. Say Al blinks.
Yes.
Okay. She is rather forceful in ways in getting what she wants. And
I'll blinks again.
I just want you to be well aware of what you might be getting yourself into. I have no need to know what exactly you're looking for, as well, as I have learned in my many years on the sea, most of the time you don't know why people want to go to a pirate cove. Most of the time, you just take them there and hope they make it out alive. But if Jalissa is involved, and, well, from how my messenger told me she reacted to the news, I don't know. I just want you to be very aware of how dangerous of a person she can be.
Oh,
I
I'm
certainly
I'm
got
being
that
cautious.
idea.
Good. Good.
I'm being cautious.
Unfortunately, we don't have much choice. We're stuck with this. We either see it through or go back.
My dear, if you feel
Come
as though
on.
you're at that point, there is no going back.
I think she might be
What?
holding our boss hostage.
Oh,
Is? What?
Morgonix just sort of sighs and pats Al on the shoulder.
yes. Well, that is very... well, that is not good to hear.
I missed something.
Sorry, what'd you say?
I missed something.
I think she has Duncan, Al.
Why? What'd you do?
I don't know, but she frightens me. I don't like her.
Okay.
Yes. I'm sure that that would only make sense. She has a way of forcing those who have some use to her to do what she wants them to do. I will let you know, though, that provided you still prove that you are... you have some worth to you, I can... well, I hope that your friend does not see... or your boss, as you say. I hope that he should be fine for the time being, provided that you do as you're told. However, the moment you don't, I fear for what may happen to him.
This is like a hostage kind of situation here.
I believe so, yes.
Yeah, that was the bribe I got.
Now, I'm telling you, because every once in a while when I stop into port, there are people who leave my service and people who join. I had several new people join before we left, and I tell you this now because I do not know if their intention of joining is to sail the seas and explore. I think it is more so to keep an eye on the five of you.
What?
Yes, Jalissa wants to have her eyes everywhere.
Right, so
She
she's
does
careful,
not-
boss.
She does not take chances.
Right. I'll
Is
nod.
there anyone you know of in town that isn't under her thumb?
My dear, I am sorry to say, but with what just happened earlier today, I doubt that there are very few people. In all honesty, I think it might be a little late for you, but if you feel too trapped, there is the Lawbearers. They are a group of individuals who work closely with the governor to maintain law and order inside the city. They are the only bastion of, well, of good in the entire city, if I am to speak honestly. Now,
And the governor, is he a good man? Or
well,
woman, I'm sorry.
no, it is a man. The governor is, well, typically those, the governor is a dragonborn. And, typically, dragonborn are considered unimpeachable in their, moral guidance, especially those of the, non-chromatic side. Those metallic dragonborn. So, for the most part, yes. Does that mean that there is every once in a while where he looks the opposite direction? Yes, but in all honesty, if you feel that you are in too deep, perhaps it might be best to go see Lawbearer Onika. She is the leader of the Lawbearers, and she may be able to help you in some way, shape, or form. But do not lose hope just yet. I'm sure that it is not too deep yet, or else, well, frankly, she would not send you on a ship with someone like me. Our past is, well, it is, that is what it is. It is a past. And I don't think any more needs to be said about it than that. So, you should probably leave before those prying eyes start to piece together that I might be telling you something that I shouldn't.
Thank you, Vera.
All right. So let's go ahead.
All right. So we're gonna cut away right there, and we're gonna cut to Cyrus. What have you been doing on this day so far?
Honestly, just kind of idly throwing dice around and drinking.
Just vibing.
Good. So, you doing that, just playing dice with some of the other
Sorry.
you're fine. Some of the other not inmates. Whoa.
Yeah, no.
Some of the other crew. There is one person in particular. There is this big, barrel-chested, scruffy-bearded, bald-headed man, tattoos all over his face. He comes down to where everybody is playing dice below deck. And he says, So, you like to play dice? At you, Cyrus.
Like's an exaggeration there, darling. It's more of a necessity.
That's what I like to hear. Tell you what, you want to play a game that gambles for a little more than gold?
Listen, the last time I did this, I woke up naked in a gutter. It's not my sort of game.
Very well.
Stop there. What's the prize here?
Well, I don't want to give too much away, but if you happen to change your mind, come find me at the Squatting Lion in Sunken City Bay, and you'll be able to see what I mean. Stand up give you like this big toothy smile that with all these like some of the teeth are rotted and black and others are covered in gold. I'll see you there, sweetheart.
Holy crap. Sorry.
I grimace.
Okay.
Oof.
Yes, and certainly. Christ.
Righty. Doo-doo-doo. Let me just add this here. There we go.
Thank you.
Yep. Well, actually, it's a tavern, not an inn. Pedantic. Okay, so is there anything anybody else is doing in this night?
I think Alec is just like has been on the deck the entire time, wondering how much water could actually be here. Like she's never seen this much amount of water in one place before.
Okay.
And I think this is the first time she'd ever been on like a boat that wasn't like, a canoe.
Cool.
Ah.
Yeah.
But
It
other than
is
that, that's all she's doing. She's just staring at it.
overwhelming to say the least.
I was also looking out in the water, and while he's doing that, he's savoring bingo.
Alrighty.
I do have
Sailors
one thing
just
I want to
watching.
do if it won't take too long.
Yeah.
I want to try to find somewhere private on the ship. It doesn't matter if it's like a closet, just somewhere I can be alone with a door shut.
Okay. You could definitely go into your cabin for that.
And I'm not sharing with anybody?
Well, Al right now is sort of staring out off at the distance on the dock, so you could definitely go there and be alone for
Cool.
the time being.
Is there like a chair I can put in front of the door?
Yeah, you definitely could.
Okay. I
If
do
you've
that
got drugs and you're
and I
not
summon the
sharing
hex
them, I'm
blade.
jealous.
No, I just summon the hex blade.
Okay. Very good,
Ooh.
very good. All right.
Ooh.
So you prop the door into the chair, or the chair into the door. There we go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you sort of take a seat on your knees, and you summon the blade in your hand. And that
If you want to talk, now's the time.
there is a slight chuckle and then a cat-like purr. I would love to talk, darling.
I did what you wanted. Will you stop speaking in riddles now?
Very well, if that is what you wish. So, I'm sure you have many, many questions, but it wouldn't exactly be fun if I tell you everything your heart aches and yearns for, so how about one answer, one question. Honest as the day is long.
What is your end goal?
My end goal, Morganix, is to be whole again. I yearn for it. I am broken, and I wish to be what I once was.
What were you?
Darling. One question, one answer. Find me
Well, I
some
might
other
be
time.
dying tomorrow.
Well, I will make sure that doesn't happen. I just love our little talks.
I sigh and I dismiss it. And I lock the door.
All right. You unjam the chair from the door, open it, and look out. It seems as though nobody's there. But as you look out, you swear you feel somebody tap on your shoulder.
Duh. I whirl around.
You look behind you. Oh, calm down, darling. Even if the blade's not there, I am. And the laughter just sort of fades into nothingness. And then
Well,
you feel
that's
like you're
uncomfortable.
alone. All right.
I cast regret at 5th level.
Just keeps ticking up. Man, I can't wait for the 9th level regret where you
Oh man.
where you leave the Discord server. Okay. So what, let's see, what, sorry, there was something that happened in the chat. So that happens. Okay, was there anything anybody else wanted to do for this night and sort of the next morning?
I had something, but I forgot it.
Sorry.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, I got it. Okay. Okay. Al is going to give to Morganix, well, to hold on to, his bag full of his weapons, and he's going to try to read the thing, the book, the bloody journal again.
Okay.
Can Sayla
Oh.
notice that he gives his weapons away to try and do this?
Well, yeah, I mean, well, where are you doing this at, actually, Al? Are you doing it in your cabin, or are you doing it in the, on the deck? Where are you doing this? Al? Al? No.
Technical difficulties.
There
The
we go.
book killed him.
Keeps going in and out.
Okay, where are you doing this at, first and foremost? Are you doing it in your cabin? Or are you doing it on the deck?
In the cabin, they sit in the bed, covers over me.
Dang, never mind.
My
Okay.
lantern.
Are you explaining to Morganix what you're doing, or do you just hand her a bag and get under the covers?
I'm just saying what I'm doing.
Oh, okay. We might need Alec for this one, just in case.
Maybe.
Okay, I'm gonna go get Alec.
Okay. Al, do you start reading when she leaves?
I don't know.
No?
I don't know.
You don't know? All right. Well, so Morganix, you go up to go get Alec, and you can see her like sort of almost meditating on the bow of the ship. Every once in a while, just sort of breathing in the fresh air and looking in and drinking in this huge, vast expanse of clear, like turquoise blue water.
I'm just gonna lightly tap her on the shoulder.
Have you ever seen so much water in one place?
It's kind of amazing, yeah.
It is.
Al's gonna try reading from that thing again, and
What?
he gave... Yeah. I think I need you for that one, in case...
Did somebody hit him too hard in the head?
I think he was...
Do I need to hit him too hard in the head? Let's go. And she's gonna, like, turn away and head towards the cabin.
And as I'm, like, tagging along after her, I'm like, well, we've got to make sense of it, but I don't know that I can restrain him if something goes wrong.
Right.
So
Alright.
I will say, Sayla, you would probably notice Morganix come get Alec from the bow. You wouldn't exactly have heard what they said, but you would have seen her say something, Al go from really happy to really sad and frustrated, and then get up and kind of storm off as Morganix is kind of like trying to trail behind her, trying to talk at her. So you would see that happen.
I'm gonna follow very discreetly.
Okay, go ahead and make a stealth check.
Oh, come on, dice gods, be nice to me.
What
Where's
are your
my...
two,
Oh, they're there.
Alec and Morganix, what are your guys' passive perception?
Mine's pretty low. 12.
12?
Where's...
14.
14, okay.
Oh.
Okay, so,
Hey.
neither one of you, Alec, you swear for a second that somebody is following the two of you as you are going down below deck, and you look up, and Selah, you hear that creak of the wood underneath your foot, and you just kind of like push yourself back away from the opening, and she almost notices you, but you are just barely able to avoid that eye contact. And the two of them descend down the stairs, headed towards Alan Morganix's cabin, and you slowly follow after. So you obviously can't go in the room with them now, but you are outside of the room. You can hear everything that's going on from this moment on, okay?
Sweet.
Okay. So the two of you enter the room, shut the door behind you. Do you brace it again, or?
I'll just kind of lean back against it for now.
Okay. All right. Kind of brace yourself
Just
up against it.
imagining him going crazy and running up and overboard or something.
Alec will position herself, like, close enough to, like, tackle him if needed.
Okay.
But far enough away to where she's, like, not reading the book as well. She wouldn't want to be reading it over his shoulder.
Okay. Alrighty. So Al, then you throw the sheets and the blankets over your head.
I'm gonna start reading the thing, yeah. Start reading the thing.
Okay. Alrighty. So as you open...
Oh yeah,
the
and I have
page-
my notebook to transcribe it.
Okay. So, as you open the book and you begin to look at the words on the page, the first several pages you're able to read fairly well, as you've now spent a little bit more time with this. However, it's more so when you get past that. You hold open your journal and you try and transcribe down as much as you can, but things start to become blurry, and there's not necessarily anything that takes over your mind per se, but really just you feel yourself start to fade almost, like you're falling asleep.
What? Okay, at this, I look up and around. I take yours down and look around.
You look up and around, and you're still underneath those sheets, underneath those blankets.
I'm under them, but my head isn't.
Yeah, no, you're still good in there. Nothing is around you. You can still hear the sound of the crashing of the waves on the side of the ship.
Prick my finger with the quill.
Okay.
Myself awake.
Yep, so you prick yourself, and you feel fine. You kind of jolt a little bit from the pain, but it's nothing too much. You're fine for right now.
Continue transcribing.
Okay. You go back, and the words, they kind of blur and meld together.
Oof.
And your eyes start to lull closed. And I'd like you to make a Constitution saving throw.
Okay. Let's see what my con save is. Oh, nice. Let's see. Nice. There we go.
Okay. So, You feel your eyeballs start to drop. And
It's an 18. Okay.
Yes. Well, I'm getting there. You feel them start to drop, and you know that this effect, it's something the book is doing to you. And you have the choice now to give in willingly or to resist.
I'm gonna resist because that's sounds like something I would do.
Okay,
Or
so
I would do.
you wake back up, you pull back up, you look away from the book, and you're fine. You're looking around. Everything's
Go
okay.
back to the spot I was.
Make another Constitution saving throw. It seems as though there's like a block at this one point.
Ooh, this one point sounds very important.
You fall asleep. Your
Oh
eyes shut,
god.
like two stone doors slamming together. And upon opening your eyes back up, there's no more waves, no more seagulls, just you in a field.
Dude. Look down.
Beneath you is a stone path that only leads in one direction.
Okay. I'm going to follow the stone path.
Okay. You begin to walk along. You can see the wheat off to the side. And you swear you start to see these grotesque hands begin to emerge from the wheat, just reaching and grabbing and trying to pull at you. What do you do?
I'm gonna make a face, but I'm gonna send a picture in memes in Discord.
Okay. Okay, all right. You make that face, and they're aggressive. Do you just keep walking, or do you stand still? They are like grabbing at your ankles and trying to yank you in to the wheat, trying to pull you in there. What are you doing?
I am. Before I go any further, I am going to take a break and.
Okay, yeah, as you are being grappled and pulled back and forth by these hands, that seems like a good place to take a break. Good place is in.
This is a terrible place to take a break. Oh my god.
Wait, so he's a lump? Did we see him like go from sitting upright to being a lump?
No. He didn't keel over at all. He still just looks like a lump, like he's sitting up straight.
Oh, okay. I thought he like fell over asleep. That's what I was getting from that.
Nope, his eyes shut, but you guys with the blankets over him, you cannot see that.
Son of a bitch.
He gonna suffocate.
No, I'm gonna go.
All right, yeah, go eat dinner.
Yeah.
Back in the bed.
We'll
All
see
right,
in a
sounds
bit.
good.
We're gonna pull that.
Every time.
I didn't get it this time though. All right,
Every time.
there we go. All right, thank you very much. I appreciate it. So, you all had found a ship, and you started to make your way there. After a few conversations with some shady real-life people and shady entities, you were close to getting there, for the most part, unharmed and, well, untampered with. However, sometimes curiosity can get the better of those seeking intellectual gains. Now, you decided you wanted to read the book again. There's something there, you know it, and you want to figure out what it is. And as of this current moment, it doesn't exactly matter what it's going to cost you. You want to live, yeah, but how close can you get to figuring it out and still living? You're willing to figure out what that line is. Even though this book compels you to fall asleep and lulls you into this sense of security, you try again, and this time you're not able to withstand. And you begin to lull to sleep. And as you come back to consciousness, you see that you are standing in a field, wheat and different overgrown grass on a stone path. And you begin to walk, and there are these grotesque, decaying hands that begin to reach out and start to grab you. You make a disgusted face at them, and then what do you do?
I'm gonna look down the path to see where it leads. Can I see where it leads?
It seems to just lead off into the darkness.
I'm gonna look behind me and see if there's any path behind me that leads anywhere.
Just darkness.
I'm gonna look to my left and right to see what's around. It's just field.
It's just the giant overgrown mounds of wheat and dead grass, and these hands that are just reaching towards you and trying to grab at your hair and grab at your ankles, trying to pull you down and pull you in to the decaying grass. And anytime that a hand gets near you, it smells of decay and rot. What do you do?
All right. Al is going to weigh his options. All right. So on the one hand, I could go behind
Okay.
you.
I'd like you to make a strength saving throw as the arms just begin to rip and tear you into the bushes.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, shoot.
So they begin to rip and pull you. You take
Oh.
6 points of psychic damage.
Oh.
As to you, it feels pure bludgeoning as they are just slamming into your chest, ripping away at your skin and flesh. And at this moment, Alec, being the one who's kind of closest to him, you kind of hear him exhale a little bit, and move a little bit. You're not sure exactly what that means, but he made movement, so probably means he's okay. Is there anything you'd like to do?
At this. Oh, shoot. Are you talking to Alec?
Yeah, Alec, yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't. Al and Alex, I'm gonna get confused.
Yeah.
So what do we see?
That's what I was just saying.
I was
You
confused.
saw
Sorry.
him exhale a little bit, just kind of and saw him jostle a little bit. For the most part, it seems like he's fine, but you notice that.
Does Margonix?
You're a little bit too far away to notice it.
Okay.
Alec is the one who's right above him.
She will say, Al, is everything okay? I just kind of wait to see if he responds.
He responds, I'm fine.
She's gonna look at Organics.
Margonix kind of. How long has it been?
Oh, not more than a couple minutes.
Margonix just kind of shrugs.
Oh.
And Sayla is very curious.
Yeah. Yeah. Alrighty. So we'll jump back to Al. These.
Sorry, before you jump back, can Alec touch him, put her hand on his shoulder and say it again? Al, is everything okay?
Yes, I'm fine. Just reading.
Can I insight that?
Yes, you may. What a good question to
say it.
ask.
You beat me to it.
Alrighty. Give me 1 second here.
And they help each other out and.
Insight is something that is very hard to
Yeah.
get the assist on. All right, let me see here. D20. It seems like Al. It sounds like him, and he does like to study, so he's probably fine. And it sounds confidently like him.
Okay, Alec would wait a few more minutes and see.
Okay. You wait a few more minutes, so we will then jump back to Al. So, the real Al, you are being ripped and torn, scratched into by these hands. What are you doing?
I'm going to try to get away and run the
Okay.
heck out of there.
Now, sort of
Path.
relying on your instincts a little bit more, make a strength saving throw with advantage.
Ooh.
Okay, so you're able to pull the hands off and emerge from the dead grass and wheat around you. Which way do you go? Do you go forwards or do you go backwards?
I'm gonna go forwards.
Okay, so you begin to... Are you walking, running?
Running.
Running, okay.
Avoid them as I go. Try to run as fast enough that they
Okay, go ahead and make an athletics check for me.
Yokes.
As you just try and
I
sprint
make
as fast as
acrobatics
humanly...
check instead.
Nope, athletics. You're not cartwheeling away from them, you are running away from them. Okay, alrighty. So,
Look at that roll.
you sprint like you've never sprint before. You are, for the first time in your life, you feel legitimately afraid. You can feel that gut-wrenching feeling, your insides twisting and turning, that fear. Whether it's fight or flight, you are flying. You are running as fast as humanly possible for you, until eventually the wheat all around you begins to clear and get smaller and smaller, and the hands stop, and you reach a plateau, a cliff, in front of a sea of dark fog and blackness. You don't know how far it goes down, but it's all you can see. Or you can turn back.
I'm just gonna say this whole thing kind of reminds me of like those rite of passages that Jedi go through, where they can only, you know how it says you can only bring with you. I didn't bring any weapons.
You did not. So,
That's fine.
so then what is Al doing?
Al would probably kill me. Alright, so I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait. What? I'm gonna look around again.
Okay. Make a perception check.
Okay. Perceiving. 3, 2, perceiving.
Okay. You look and you listen, and for a moment, now that you've gone past that dead grass and wheat, you don't hear anything. The rustling of the hands and the broken leaves and twigs is no more.
I don't hear anything. There's no like bug chirping or anything like that. It's just dead silence.
No, silence until you hear a voice come from the fog.
Oh, shoot.
For a moment, you don't recognize it. It says, "Al, help me." And then it clicks. That's your mother's voice.
What?
Al, please, help me.
What? What's going on?
Al, please, I need your help.
Okay, dream.
So you hear the voice coming from the pit of blackness in front of you, a plateau that you either have to jump or turn.
Can I look down?
Yep, you look down and you can see it go down for about 5 feet, and then it's just pitch black, this swirling, chaotic fog.
Okay. I'm kind of tempted to just eat myself up there.
So as you are standing,
Not that I do though.
as you are standing at the edge, pondering as to what to do, thinking that maybe the right choice is to jump, we're going to jump back to the cabin, and Al, you can hear him start to not hyperventilate, but just start to like sharp breath, just sort of.
That?
Yep, like that.
Alec is going to look at Morgonix again. What do you think? Should we keep this going? I'm starting
At
to
this
become
point,
uncomfortable.
It's been about 5 minutes.
I don't like it. I don't know. Are you getting anywhere, Al? What did it say?
If I have a few more moments, I should be able to figure out something big. Just a few more moments, please. Just a few more moments.
Insight check.
Make an insight check.
Oh god, I haven't been doing good at these tonight.
It sounds like him. He definitely seems exacerbated, but I'm.
Can Alec pull the sheet off of him just to like check on him physically?
You pull the sheet off, and his eyes are closed.
Oh, that's creepy.
Alec,
And
how are
he's
you
talking.
reading this? Ow.
I am. Put the sheet back over. Put it back over. Put it back over now.
I'm gonna slap him.
Okay.
I'm gonna rush forward and grab the book.
Okay, so you two like rushing in at the same time, grabbing the book and slapping him. Al, as you are just about to take a step forward, take a step back, you're not sure, you are thrust back into consciousness, and you can feel like you are pushing something out of the way as your eyes fling back open and you're slammed up against the side of the wall. Morganix, as you grab the book, do you just shut it immediately?
I don't know. I think I just kind of yank it away from him.
Okay, as you yank it away, make a Constitution saving throw. Holding it open, looking inside of it, just glancing.
Oh.
Her eyes shut, and she boom, like a ragdoll onto the floor. At this point, Sayla, you hear the Al slamming back against the headboard. You hear somebody else dropping onto the ground.
I'm gonna go in there.
Okay, so you open the door. You can see her, Morganix, collapse onto the ground, holding the book. And, Morganix, you, in this moment, you are surrounded by light for a moment. Your guide. This comforting light, that comforting voice, don't worry, Morganix, it will be fine. Don't... And the voice slowly begins to taper and almost sound like it's dying. As you can see that man, that decayed man slowly begin to approach. And as he opens his mouth, just slugs just pour out of his mouth and land on the ground with a sound. And as you sort of scatter up to your feet, he begins to approach closer and closer. Why do you care so much? Why? And at that moment, we'll cut back to everyone else. You can see Morganix start to hyperventilate a little bit more, and this voice start to say, "No, I'm fine. Don't worry about me. I'm fine." As she
Kick the book out of her hand.
So you kick the book, it slides across, and Morganix, he is inches away from your face. His hands reach up towards your throat, and in a moment, as you try and push him back, you push away and you look around, and you are in the cabin of the ship. The book, maybe it's closed 5 feet away from you, and you can see Alec just standing
I jump to
over
the book and close it.
Okay, so the book is already closed by the time you get there from when Al kicked it. But yeah, you go to it, and those tendrils that were on it that were just kind of smooth and just kind of slowly moving around, now in this current moment, they are flailing, just trying to reach out and grab anything they can.
I would like to summon the Hexblade.
Anything I can,
Okay.
cover it with? Anything?
There's the sheet on the bed.
Okay. Sure, I'm
I'm
gonna
going to summon the Hexblade, and I am going to slam it into the ground right next to the book and say, I am not taking this right now.
Okay, go ahead and roll for an attack.
Not actually trying to attack the book just yet.
Oh, just slam next to it? Okay. So yeah, you conjure
I'm trying
the blade.
to threaten this book.
Roll an intimidation check.
Oh
You
god.
threaten the book.
Sailor's just kind of like, what the fuck
I'm
is
not
going
fucking
on?
with you, book.
Okay, so the tendrils, they slow down just a hair, and at that moment, it's enough time and enough coolness for Al to jump on top with the sheet and wrap it up, and the tendrils, you can feel them start to flail a little bit, and then relax, and they stop moving as soon as the sheet is wrapped around it.
Dismiss the Hexblade.
Hexblade is dismissed.
All right, I have some questions. What the fuck
Yeah.
is that?
That book is evil.
Obviously, why are you messing with it?
I wasn't trying to. I was just trying to get it from him.
I've heard the phrase, curiosity killed the cat.
I have.
Yes, and the cat.
I think they're connected. I think everything we've been doing is connected. I saw that thing again. It was speaking.
Might be, yes. That was fun.
But mess with it for some time.
Do it again.
No, we're done. We're done with the book. We're not opening it again.
We're very much done.
Again?
Oh, what's next on the list after we go to
Hold on a second.
the...
Again, when did you guys open it the first time?
Oh god, everything went robotic on me.
Well, that was back in the academy. I kind of went haywire. That's why I don't have my weapons with me right now.
When you were gone talking to Jalissa, Al tried to read the book, and it didn't go very well the first time. And so he thought maybe if he tried again, that it would be better. It was not.
Have you ever heard the phrase, fool me once, shame on me, fool me twice, fool me once, shame on you, fool me twice, shame on me?
I haven't heard many of these sayings, if I'm being honest.
Well, you guys have obviously just fell right into that. So the first time, that's on the book and its tricks. Second time, that's on you for being stupid.
I kind of thought it would be the same trick.
He was searching for information. It was stupid, but at the end of the day, it was worth a shot, and now we've learned our lesson.
Well,
I think when we get back, I might... Go ahead.
If this is, I'm assuming this is magical, we could go somewhere and find someone that could dispel magic, and then we could read it a bit better.
I was thinking on maybe asking for Ko's help.
Well, possibly. Well, we could. Yeah, I don't know.
Depending on if we find him again.
Why wouldn't we?
Yeah, why would we not?
He lives on the streets. There's
He
a
has
lot
a
of
home.
bad... Well, he was on the streets. There's a lot of bad that happens to people out and about like
Sounds
that.
kind of classist to me.
No, reality. And it's
Ko
not
will
very
be fine.
nice.
He is from strong people. He knows how to protect himself.
Well, here's hoping.
We are done with the book. We will not open it again.
I'd say probably
Sorry.
have organics carry it just to be safe.
Well, I'm going to keep holding onto it, but I'm going to find some chains first. You can hold onto the key. Better, you know.
You're gonna what?
I'm going to hold onto it. I'm going to wrap it in chains and lock it. You were going, Morganix is going to have the key.
I don't know
It
if
would
we're going to be able to get locks and chains in the middle of the ocean.
That's like next on the list, you know. I'm gonna go to Indira and see if she has any locks and chains.
Okay, so real quick, we will jump back to you all shortly. It is like the middle of the night, so we're going to jump to Cyrus for a little bit. So, as you are sitting on the deck, Cyrus, at maybe 7, 8 o'clock right now, the sun has set, and for the most part, the sails are at about 1/4 to half mast, just for a little bit slower sailing. The crew seems to have gotten these like small stools and little chairs out that they sort of set on the deck all around in a circle, and there are a few people that come out with different instruments, hurdy-gurdies, drums, different flutes, things like that, and they all get ready to start playing, and the thing that catches your eye is they start rolling out the casks. And although, you know, the pirate or the sailor crowd isn't exactly your exact type, the beverage is the beverage. So you decide to hang out a little bit above deck with everybody. And as soon as the casks open, the sea shanties start. And
it.
there are different people singing all together, and everybody starts to clack their drinks together and singing and talking, and Captain Vera comes over to you. And she's the gnomish woman, fiery red hair. She's got her like coat on, her like 3/4 length coat. She says, so it is Cyrus, correct?
Yes, darling.
Well, Cyrus, I can't help but notice you are, and I mean this in the most polite way, but you are, well, rather strange for, considering the company that you fall into. You, well, in all honesty, you fit a little better among my crowd than you do around them.
I'm just very well traveled, you see. You know, different circles and that.
Of course, of course. So I was wondering, and she starts to pour a little more alcohol in your cup, and you're not sure exactly what she pours in there, but it is strong. I have a few questions for you about everything that has happened, and I want you to, well, talk to me like you would talk to a friend. As I said, I have worked with Jalissa quite often, and I just want to make sure that I understand exactly what is happening.
I don't know this person like more organics than Aldi, so I'm gonna insight that.
Yeah, sure, go ahead and make an insight check.
When it goes through. I have made one. I just don't know when it's gonna roll.
It's okay, we're getting there. Getting there. It'll come eventually.
I don't want to like do it multiple times and it rolls about 8.
It'll come eventually. So
Come on.
in the meantime, she'll elaborate a little bit more until it rolls. The only reason I ask is, oh, hey, there it is. So
One above the 8.
even though that's really low, there is something you can tell that there is genuine care to her voice, but there's just something underneath. There is some personal interest as well.
Okay. I'm gonna kind of. Sorry, go on.
No, go ahead.
So I'm gonna be kind of, again, like doing the whole thing of like I like the appearance of being drunk out of my gird, but I'm not that bad. And I'm gonna kind of go through things, but I'm gonna pay careful attention to when I mention specifically the part where I met Jalissa in the port. I'm gonna try and read their reaction, like specifically around any time I mention Jalissa.
Oh, okay. So as you begin to explain how you first met Jalissa and some of the things that happen. Go ahead and make an insight check. Just to see how
You
she
know
reacts.
what? I'm going to do this, and I'm going to roll it with advantage.
Oh, all right. All right, and then real quick. Okay. I would also like you to roll a D100. Let me go to this real quick. Did you send this to me? Yes, okay. Very cool. What do we got here?
Let's do as many wild magic surges as possible. Joe,
60.
you're so awesome.
I love wild magic so much.
It's awesome. I have it right here.
You say that, but the
my
boat's about to
God.
burn down or something.
Oh,
You're
okay.
looking at, are you
All
looking
right.
at the table on 104 of HP?
No, this
No,
is a
we've
different one
got
that
a different one.
Different one?
Yeah. Even better.
Ooh.
So as you do this and you get an extra good read on her, as anytime you mention Jalissa's name, there is this like wounded pride almost that something happened in their past where Jalissa had betrayed maybe Jalissa had betrayed Vera, and it seems as though that has been healed, but anytime you just see that little wince that leads you to believe that there's still some type of wound there, that she just wants something else other than words for. However, I would like you to roll
Oh no.
a d10.
Okay.
Okay. Woo. All right. So as you are talking and you sort of like, stroke your chin and scratch at your scruff a little bit, there is this moment where you can feel that sort of tide of chaos wash over you as with the crash of the wave on the side of the boat. And even though it is clear skies on this night, as soon as you get that read, you hear as 3 different lightning bolts shoot down into the water all around the boat. Luckily, not hitting anyone. But you see it hit the water, and all of the crew they all stop their singing and instrumentation as that happens, and everybody sort of looks around. Nobody's looking at you, just everybody kind of looks around at the sky, and you hear a few pirates, or a few sailors, a few sailors start to go on about how, oh, you know what that means? That means that it is Shari, the water goddess, the primordials that the Eferians believe in. She's angry at us. We shouldn't be headed to Sunken City Bay. We shouldn't be doing it. And they start to bicker on and on about what happened. But you know that was just you.
I'm gonna try and, like, even if no one realizes it, because I'm not sure if she noticed anything, I'm gonna kind of join the kind of panic almost and say, it's a bad omen! We need to drink!
Hey, I like this man a lot. And it seems as though that one word drink, everybody stops arguing. They're like, hey, he's right. And they all start pouring more casks. And the singing resumes. As they all go back to what they were doing, as almost if nothing happened.
Fades by the lightning strike.
I'd like you to make a deception check real quick.
Okay.
Captain Vera, she looks at you and smiles and says, that is the one thing that I will say is, it's always so hard to tell when it is going to storm or when lightning is going to strike in such chaotic waters. Yes. Well, that's very interesting what you said about about Jalissa. She just came and found you on the middle of the street and then took you in out of the kindness of her heart.
Kindness. Yeah, sure.
Well, I'm glad you are wiser to it than others are. Well, I wish you the best, Cyrus, and I hope that in the future that this is not our only job together. I would love to get to know more about Cyrus of where are you from, Cyrus?
Oh, here and there.
Yes, as all travelers are. Well, hopefully someday I will get the full story. Please enjoy the drinks and enjoy the crew. It seems as though, well, I will let you know a simple trick. If you want to really entertain them and you want to get them on your side fast, a few tricks with magic, which I'm sure you will have no problem with. And she gives you a wink, and then she heads back to the captain's quarters, and you decide to flick some little sparks off your fingers to entertain the crew. And real quick, I'd like you to make... Well, what's your passive insight? So your passive insight would be 14. You notice... Well, here, let's do this. Okay. There is one person, Ooh, man. There is one, what seems to be halfling woman, who, although the rest of the crew seems to be fairly entertained by this, singing and being fairly jolly, there's one halfling woman with, like, a scar right around her cheek, like, around her jawline, across her cheek, and this dark brown hair, who doesn't seem to be as entertained. Sure, she might, like exhale out of her nose, but she's keeping fairly hard eyes on you right now. And you just barely catch that as you are performing these little nothing magic tricks. But you do clock that. So, going from there, Al, you now just emerge from below deck, and you can see Captain Vera heading back to her cabin you're not sure exactly what, but you do see her as you are just getting done from your conversation down there to ask about those chains and locks.
Captain Vera,
Oh, yes. Hello, Al.
would you happen to have a lock and chains and a key for that lock?
Well, actually, yes, I do, but I thought that we were going to use those tomorrow to disguise you and Morganix as slaves.
I mean, it was more like a bit of a smaller set. About size.
You said book size?
Yes.
Well, I'll tell you what. I will look around, and I will ask one of my crewmates to look around, and if they find anything, they'll bring it to your room, okay?
Thank you very much. That's helpful.
Yes, of course.
Have
Have a good night, Al.
May you as well.
Thank you.
Bye.
All right.
And then I'll leave, I guess. Or Al wants to get a bit of air.
Okay. So as you are up above deck, you can see that actually Cyrus is providing the majority of the entertainment right now. As sure, some of the different sailors are singing their sea shanties and drinking. Cyrus is performing of these magic tricks. These just like little flicks of light and sparks coming off of his fingertips. Provide some entertainment for the crew, and it seems as though he's kind of stealing the show.
I am going to, I guess, watch the show for a while, and then when things die down, I guess, I want to approach Cyrus.
Okay, so it is a couple hours, just sitting watching the show. So as you are sitting there watching that, and seeing Cyrus do all of these different tricks, entertaining the crew. Real quick before we jump to you guys and your conversation, Sayla, Alec, And Morganix, was there anything that you guys wanted to do in these moments?
Sayla's
Did
just
he-
kind of. Oops, sorry.
No, go ahead.
Sayla's just kind of furious because she got left out of the loop. She's lost a little bit of trust, what little there was.
Kind of
Yeah.
funny. A rogue thinking that.
Huh?
Kind of ironic.
Eh.
Typically, a rogue is the one who does that. Just to go out of the loop.
Trust me, she keeps her secrets.
Yeah.
But, you know.
It's good though. Yeah. Okay.
Did Al take the bundle with him?
Al, did you take the bundle with you?
I actually described myself taking.
Okay.
So he did take it with him.
It's in the bundle.
I'm gonna look at the other two ladies, and I'm not. It's kind of obvious I'm not terribly pleased at the way I've just been spoken to, but I'm also not very happy with Al going off and doing his own thing, and I'm just gonna sigh and say, we may need to get that book away from him at some point.
I agree. He's a little too careless.
He's young. He doesn't know any better.
Exactly. And children do incredibly stupid things.
I don't think he has. I think he's a good kid, but he is a kid. And I feel responsible for him.
I think if we simply explain the situation and have him hand the book over it, hopefully he will understand. It's for his
Alright.
safety.
Well, thank you.
Sayla, I apologize that you did not know originally, but this happened rather quickly, and then Charles made an appearance, and after that we just kind of ended up in this situation. It was not intentional to leave you out.
She finds this hard to believe, but she's going to pretend like she forgives them and moves on.
No persuasion or insight checks. Do that.
I think it's fairly easy to read, where it is definitely this feigned sense of forgiveness, but a sense of forgiveness nonetheless that you do pick up on Alec. You're just not sure how authentic it is.
Right.
Alrighty. Anything else from you three?
I'm just gonna go to bed.
Okay.
Yeah, I think Alec is done for the night.
Alrighty. Same for you, Sayla.
Yeah.
Alrighty. So you three head to sleep, and eventually the rest of the crew disperses from above deck. The singing stops, and Cyrus, you can see Al just standing there watching you perform, and then eventually, as soon as everybody disperses, he begins to approach you.
Should I start what I'm gonna do?
Yeah, go for it.
Alright, so, okay. Hello, Cyrus. Would it be too much for me to ask you of?
Uh-oh, you cut out.
You cut out the.
Did would it be too much for me to ask of you a favor?
Well, I mean, I can't really answer that until I know the favour. Also, before we get onto that, I thump a tankard into his chest and say, "Drink."
Oh, sweet lord.
So, Al, you can see this, like, sloshy, foamy, it's kind of like amber color of liquid in this cup, which you can only assume is some type of ale or rum or a combination of the two.
Grog.
Yep.
Uh,
Oh, no.
Hold on.
Okay, alright.
Say it again. I heard
So you...
sounded
okay.
like frog.
Yeah, you can see this bubbly, foamy, amber-looking liquid.
Yeah, that looks
in
like
this.
ale. Yeah.
Yeah,
I got that
and
part.
yeah, and he said grog.
He just said grog.
Yeah, because that's like what the type of drink it would be is like a
They
combination of.
yeah, they water down rum with like ale and water.
Okay.
So he hands you this tankard. What are you doing?
I guess I take it. My hands. In my left hand is the grog, and in my right hand is the blanket-covered book.
So yeah, Cyrus, you do see him with a folded up sheet that looks similarly to the shape of a book.
Is that
Yes, it is the bloody journal. I was wondering if you could hide it tonight, or at least for the foreseeable future.
Now, are we talking about from everyone or from you?
Yes.
Is that just see all of the above?
Yes. Do you do that?
Yeah, I can do that.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I set the book down on the table and like kind of shake it out of the sheet, because it's my bed sheet. So
Yep.
Take the sheet. I drape this sheet over my right shoulder.
Alrighty.
I owe you one.
Oh, yes you do. Yes you do. Now,
all right.
it's now bit of a tip, darling. Don't taste it, just down it.
What? And I look down at the grog. You mean this?
Just one gulp, I swear. Easiest thing in the world.
All right.
Alright, so you
Just
take a
downs
sip.
it.
Oh man, all right. I would like you to make a Constitution saving throw just to see if you like it. If you succeed,
is pretty high, so I don't know.
okay. So we'll see
Constitution
if he
saving throw.
becomes an alcoholic in this one moment.
Oh no! Say it again.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. That was a hyperbole. Let's see.
Oh,
Okay.
shoot.
So you get through about half of it, and you can see the allure. There is every once in a while you get hit with like a wave of taste that is almost good, but then there's like 12 more waves of kind of gross. And you think that if you were to try something a little more refined or something that is not grog, that is just for the purpose of getting drunk so you forget your pain and problems, you think you might like it, but you're not a fan of grog. You drink it and you don't regurgitate any of it, but it's all right. You're not a fan.
It's very good. Thank you very much. And I handed back the empty bottle, I guess, or keg.
Yeah,
No,
well,
not
it's like
keg.
it's like a
It's not
tankard.
keg. It's like
No.
what is it? Like a
Yeah, it's maybe like a quart, like a tankard. Not a quart, a pint. Yeah, there we go, pint. Quart's a little much. Yeah, it's not too much. And Cyrus, as you get it back, it's maybe 3/4 of the way empty.
I down it and throw the tankard overboard.
So you slam it back, you throw it over. It's nothing to you. You have yeah, you are a pro alcoholic. You've got it pretty
That's
good.
the thing you can be a pro in.
For Cyrus, yes. So the two of you, I assume, then head off to sleep.
Sure.
Okay.
I'm gonna kind of make a point because obviously, if he's just giving this book, I'm making sure no one's checking me out. Especially, I'm keeping an eye out for that fucking halfling.
Aha. Very good, very good. I'd like you to make a perception check with advantage because you have a pretty good idea of who the people would be keeping an eye out, or who would be trying to watch you do this.
Okay.
It's too bad that I'm in bed.
Very
Nice.
good. So there is a moment,
Coming
as soon as Al sort of gets below deck, you start to look around, see if anybody else is watching, and you see that halfling woman just sort of standing up near the bow, or the rear of the ship, just kind of looking out over the sea. But you can see that like her eye, like the corner of her eye, just barely keeps looking over at you and then back towards the sea, over at you, back towards the sea.
Push her. No, I'm kidding.
Oh, I considered it.
Oh.
Other than like the fact that they're just kind of looking out to sea, like, do I over and again the like the scar on the face? Are they wearing anything, or is it just kind of like plain sailing clothes?
It is the most generic you could possibly look. Like, especially with that high of a roll, they are trying as hard as possible to look as inconspicuous and blend in as much as possible.
Right. Having at least what Cyrus thinks has made them. I'm gonna kind of start to go below deck, and as soon as I walk through the door, I'm just gonna step to the side.
Okay.
Ooh.
Okay, all right. So go ahead and make a stealth check for me, just real quick.
Oops.
Hey. Well, we'll take the first one, which was the 18. So
I'm really playing up the drunkard like act here.
oh yeah. Oh yeah. So I mean with that it would be advantage anyway because that is so you end up stumbling down below deck, really like giving in to the ebb and flow of the ship, really swaying as much as you can, and eventually as you get below deck there's like these different like large cargo these nets hanging from the ceiling that have barrels in them, and you just kind of like throw yourself like halfway on top, slumped over, making sure the book is like underneath your chest, and you can hear the footsteps slowly come down and then come around towards you, and nothing, and then you hear the voice, fucking drunkard, and then they exhale and they walk away, and you can hear a door shut.
Okay. I'm gonna who's in my cabin? Is it all of us in the same cabin?
No, it's two to a cabin. So one is Alan Morganics, the one that they were in. I'm assuming Alec and Sayla are not in the same cabin. I'm assuming Sayla would probably be the one who would be alone.
Likely.
So that means you could either go into her room or Alec's room. You have one of those two choices. Because there are 2 beds to a room.
Yeah, I'm gonna go to the one with Alec, and on the way, I'm gonna kind of keep an eye out as anywhere I could kind of stash this book.
Make another perception check for me. Okay. As you're looking around, I mean, there is different cargo in different places that stacked on top of each other, pushed up against the wall. There are a few places that you can maybe jam it in there. Most of it's strapped to the wall, so it would probably be fine for the time being. But other than that,
Yeah. Oh, I'm honestly just gonna kind of. I'm gonna make a mark because I'm not that stupid. I'm gonna at least make a mark in which kind of barrel, if there's like grain or limes in a barrel or something, I'm gonna literally just shove it like in the middle of one of them. But I'm gonna mark the barrel so I know where I've put it.
Okay, very good idea. So you go through a couple of different ones, and some of them are just barrels full of like fresh water, and you shut it. And there's other ones full of. There are two that you find. One is full of oranges, and the other one is full of rice. Either one of those two would be suitable for it. It just depends which one you want.
I'm just gonna
rice
stuff it down the rice.
Oh, the dry.
Rice. Alrighty. So you shove the book down into the rice until it's a couple of feet down in there. You put the lid back on, and you make what type of marking? Just like scratching into it a little bit with like a knife or something?
Yeah, like literally that. Yeah, just so I could recognize the mark.
Okay, alrighty, very cool, very cool. So you make that etching in there, carve it in there, and you know that none of the other barrels would have something like that. And as far as you're concerned, the book is fairly well hidden.
I'm gonna head to bed.
All right, so you head to sleep.
No.
All of you sleep fairly restfully
Oh,
on the
as
night.
Al gets to his room, goes, shakes his head and blinks a few times, and then gets under the covers.
Okay.
Morgana is
And
going to stifle a sigh.
He lays on his side.
Okay. So the night is restful for the most part, of course. Some of you have echoes of nightmare. Some of you, no dreams reach you at all. Just darkness, which for some of you, that is welcome. Eventually, you wake up, and it's morning. The waves are still crashing on
To
the
full
ship.
HP.
Full HP, all that good stuff. And as you all begin to slowly get yourselves together and begin to head above deck, you can hear someone shout from the crow's nest, "Land ho!" pointing off towards the north. And you can see these different reaches of coastal land with palm trees spreading out. As the ship slowly begins to turn inland, you begin to head towards Sunken City Bay. And that is where we will pick up next time.
Yay!
It's fun.
Nice.
All right.